Hi guys, Ty from GenerEOS here. In tonight's video, Ralph and I attend the EOS Australia and Blockchain Sydney Meetup. We give the audience an update about GenerEOS and all the cool things that we've been up to. Hope you enjoy the video. Good evening everybody. Welcome to Blockchain Sydney and EOS Australia's EOS event tonight. So I'm Ty Tran, this is Ralph Wynan. We're from GenerEOS, so I'm the CEO of GenerEOS and Ralph's the CEO of GenerEOS. So tonight we've got a few speakers, so us, also Sean from MNA talking about his really exciting project, and also Lasanka Pereira from Independent Reserve to talk about their recent EOS listing. So without further ado, so GenerEOS, we're a standby EOS block producer based out of Sydney here, and we are the creators of the EOS Toolkit, where you can use go to the EOS Toolkit and it allows you to manage all your EOS needs. Who's excited about today's pump? EOS, up 11%. Yeah, keep going. So maybe Lasanka can give us some insights into where the market's going.
Good time to start.
So we are the highest ranked EOS standby BP in Australasia. So from EOS track today, we're at number 54. We have been as high as 29, but it has the rankings have been quite volatile over the last 6 months. Toolkit, we've been doing a lot of development on that, which Ralph will talk more about, but to give you an overview, recently we launched 5 languages, so it now supports Chinese, Korean, Vietnamese, Russian, and of course English as well. Last quarter we donated 827.4 EOS to community projects as well as charity. So you may not be aware, but GenerEOS, we pledged to give 20% of our EOS vote and block rewards to charity and community projects. So that's last quarter. And for this quarter, we've been working with Doctors Without Borders. So they're going to be, they've agreed to become our house charity, and we're going to work with them to onboard them on EOS so that they can actually receive our donations in EOS. So we'll update you on that once we do the next round of donations. So I'm going to hand over to Ralph, who's going to talk to you about all of our technical updates. So welcome, Ralph.
Thank you. Thank you, Tom. How do you switch to my presentation? Not my computer. Thank you. So this is our other standard slide that we often use, the whale. Saving the whales. It's a little bit of a play within the EOS world and through the community. But so you've heard about the charitable space that Ty mentioned that GenerEOS is working in. So we are a charitable block producer. So we also have reached out to charities like Sea Shepherd, who are here to save the oceans and the whales and all sorts of other sea creatures. That's why I like this kind of picture. But whales also, you know about the EOS whales that can vote and vote their block producers in. So it's a little bit of a wordplay out there that I like, so I use that slide a lot. So who we are, I don't have to repeat most of it because Ty mentioned it, but our team consists of, it's quite diverse. So we have Aussie, Chinese, German, Vietnamese, Canadian, and the latest edition, Indonesia as well. So we'll talk about that in a separate slide. It's very recent, so it's the first time we are announcing that. Yeah. So what have we been up to lately? So the multi-language support Ty has already covered. So we can now switch language in the EOS Toolkit. Use your preferred language. Actually, it auto-selects based on your browser settings, so you don't really have to switch it manually. Then, what else have we done? So we implemented a lot of staking features. So So the latest staking features have been OpenBRM, Void, and Pixios. Who has heard of any of them? Yeah, that's good. That's good turnout. Has any one of you staked yet? No? Well, I think you should have a look at the EOS tokens. Do you own some of those tokens before start? Because otherwise you can't stake, obviously. But yeah, so if you are interested in it, check it out on the website. We've got, so on the left-hand side under DApps, you'll see a couple of tokens that we support: Parcel, Karma, Higher Vibes, and the latest one that I just mentioned, Void, Pixios, and OpenBRM. So all of them are pretty promising projects. Pixios is probably the most prominent one on Telegram, if you're using Telegram, because everybody seems to have these Pixios avatars lately, but it's an EOS.io based drawing platform. It's probably the shortest way of summarizing it. Yeah, Void is kind of a supercomputer built in EOS, but not a generic one. It's specifically built for research. So they are cooperating with, I believe, IBM, working on certain research projects like health research, and you can pretty much offer your spare bandwidth, CPU spare bandwidth, and help with the research. There's similar things have been out there for ages based on browser plugins, but now it's integrated with the blockchain. You can actually earn rewards doing that. So then, what else have we been up to? So GenerEOS has joined the Meet1 chain, which is an EOS.io based chain coming out of China. So we are pretty. So Meet1 has a mobile app as well, which is pretty popular, and they have their own little ecosystem. So we believe that will be a very good chain going forward. They are hoping to onboard a lot of DApps into their chain. So we've joined them, and you can have a look at the chain. So this is the Meet1 block explorer. I'm not sure who has used any block explorers out there, looking up transactions, looking up blocks. Yeah, most of you. Okay. So the Meet1 guys obviously have their own. You can see a little bit smaller, or can you scroll down a little bit so you can see how many blocks have been produced up the top, some statistics there, and then you can see the list of all the block producers. You saw, like Ty was showing you a snippet before where you could see where GenerEOS was listed number 54 on the EOS mainnet. Depends on the block explorer, or some block explorers get differently listed. But yeah, and on Meet1 we are currently number 8 in the block explorer ranking, so doing pretty well there. It's early, so we'll see where everything goes. Not sure if you know about the structure of this. So basically in EOS you get voted in as a block producer, as opposed to like Bitcoin where just everybody can mine. So EOS is a delegated proof of stake based network, and people who have stake, who have EOS, or who have, in this case, Meet1 tokens, can vote for the block producers. And the highly ranked ones, or the one with the most votes, get up in the ranks. And the top 21 are the block producers who are running the chain and actually creating the blocks. All the other ones are just standbys. They will still process all the transactions and validate, and they're ready to jump in if a block producer fails to do their job. Yeah, so that's probably enough about Meet1. Yeah, back to the slides, thank you. So here is a list of some of those EOS.io based chains. So EOS.io is the technology behind them. Obviously, EOS, the top one, is the main one. That's the one that started. And then a lot of other ones formed around it. I think one of the first ones was actually EOS Force. I haven't followed them so much. Then Telos thinks they are a little bit more fair. So they are trying to get to work against some of the collusion and the vote buying and against the whales. So they have a cap built into their product, and they have a couple of other technologies that aim to make the network fairer. We'll see how that goes long term. Then Warpy is they're pretty special because they have built-in KYC processes. So they validate every single user before they actually onboard them on chain. You have to go through a know your customer process, so like in the bank where you have to show your ID. So they're trying to attract all the financial players, financial institutions who need to comply to KYC processes. So we're pretty optimistic with them, and we are one of their block producers. Meet1 I already mentioned, we're one of their block producers. And Bosco is also a pretty strong chain, which we have not joined yet, but we have been considering it, and are not considering it, but it's all obviously work and resources, so we have to decide what we want to join and what we don't. Bosco is also a very strong technical chain. They have faster transaction confirmation. They have some technology that makes the last universal block much faster, and they have built inter-blockchain communication. It's one of the first side chains. A simple one, but at least there is one. So inter-blockchain communication is supposed to combine all of those blockchains, so that all those EOS-based blockchains, so that they can all talk to each other and exchange information, exchange tokens, and so on. What else? So GenerEOS is diversifying and growing the team. So our latest addition is Ignatius, who is here tonight as well. So just a little wave. We're very excited about Ignatius joining GenerEOS. He's been helping already on some projects which I'm going to mention, but he also works very strongly with Ammonite. So he's one of their core developers, one of the first developers for Ammonite. So I think there's a lot of synergy there, and we can all work with each other really well. It's a great product, great team, and Ignatius is a great team member. I've already worked with him, and we enjoy working with him, so welcome Ignatius. And then also GenerEOS is expanding into the education sector. So I've been going on to the University of Technology Sydney, giving some introduction to EOS. So we're trying to educate the world about EOS I/O technology. That was just a little introduction, just a 1 hour to get people excited. Hopefully we'll get some more workshops out of that. With the University of Western Sydney, we had some deeper engagements. So I did a half-day hands-on introduction to EOS I/O. So PhD people actually sitting down with their laptops, installing EOS, downloading the software, writing smart contracts. So I was walking them through the basics. And then we had a follow-up workshop with the University of Western Sydney again last week, or the week before already. Time flies. And that's where Ignatius was there as well to help, because he's quite experienced in some of those low-level technologies, or generally he has a broad range of knowledge there, and they had a particular scenario that they wanted to cover. So we did an introduction development with DMux. So basically, here's just some snapshots, some photos that we took at the university. Ignatius and I teaching about DMux. So this is just one of the slides, and I won't go necessarily into the low-level detail, but so DMux is kind of a backend software on top of the EOS I/O blockchain, so you don't have to query the blockchain all the time, which can be slow and it can be a lot of overhead. And so DMux is a pattern where you replicate part of the blockchain on a local environment, pretty much, so just simply put. And you can query your local databases and interact with that, which is much faster. But you still have the single point of truth of the blockchain, which is the main component that you're relying on in blockchain specs. So it's an exciting technology, and we've introduced the PhD students there. I think we overwhelmed them a little bit, but I hope they got something out of it. And yeah, we're excited, and hopefully we will do a few more workshops at other universities and bring that to the whole world, like knowledge about EOS and ESR. So they were still smiling at the end of it, so it can't have been that bad. Because apart from the education sector, we are promoting ESR technology in general, so we're doing consulting work. Well, with M&A we didn't do consulting work, but we were a launch partner. We're excited for their alpha launch. Really exciting, and we'll hear about that in a second. SignalX, we've just joined the trusted token offering. They are trying to bring more confidence into investors going forward, like with all the scams that have happened in the previous ICOs where people were giving money to these ICOs and they didn't see the world of the project in the end. So SignalX is trying to change that. They want to pretty much take care of the funds and only release them as the project progresses. In simple words. And then last but not least, Independent Reserve, we've been going out and just giving some technical advice while they were working on their listing. We were super excited that they have listed EOS now, and we'll hear about that in a few minutes as well. Yeah, we are working on some little secret projects that we'll probably present in the short future. And that's me. Thank you.
Thanks, Ron. Do you have any questions for us at all?
I was interested about the particular way you were copying the blockchain here at Western Sydney University. Could you elaborate on that? Like how exactly you take the information in the blockchain, make changes to it locally, and then obviously update the blockchain?
Yeah, sure. I won't go into the super deep technical details there, but basically what the DMAX thing does, that's like you have the blockchain here, and blocks are being added and transactions are being sent to it, and then you have a reader and an action blockchain. You pretty much configure the kind of actions that you're interested in, so you don't have to listen to the whole world. Sure. You're building a particular application for your backend, right? And so you're only interested in certain actions, so you configure those actions not just in readers. And then you have action handlers that store the relevant information into your database. And also you have effects that can trigger certain things like updating front end or sending an email notifications if some certain event has happened, or sending some fiat money. We had a couple of examples there. But then basically you have a local database with all the actions that you are interested in, and that keeps getting synchronized. So DMAX takes care of that, and you can then obviously just query a MongoDB or PostgreSDB directly and implement your backend front-end functionality like a traditional application. That's how it goes.